Well, here I am again, fishing again. Well, you got to get the sessions in, haven't you, while you can, just in case all these idiots going down to the seaside brings on a second peak to the illness that's going about and stops us fishing again. So here I am again. Yes, let's get the sessions in. This is a false happiness at the minute because I've had two altercations with two cyclists, and but I'm bigger than them, so I just rise above them and just look at them for what they are. But here I am. You might guess where I am. But don't that look a bit different? That does look different. Looks different to me. It's the first time I looked across that side. Look, you can see that it's not as wide across this river at this point here, because you can see more of the scenery in the distance. But you normally see those ships on the left of my videos, because today, by popular demand, i.e. me, we're in Bay 61. That's right, someone's tried to make it a 9, but it's Bay 61. And we're at East Halton, for those that didn't know, and for those that were there saying it's East Halton, it's East Halton. So yeah, I'm fishing at East Halton. It's exactly the same scenario as the Immingham at Stallingborough. You've got a roadside, look. You've got a roadway there, and bays, and then every now and then you've got a bay in there. There's a few of these black flies about here today, but I think when the tide comes in over this mud, we'll be alright. Now then, it's Thursday, 21st of May, and like I said, we're at East Halton, Bay 60, and we're giving that a shot. It's a different place. I haven't ever fished here. I've always wanted to fish here. Never have, and we'll see what's about. I'm expecting to get flounder, but you never know, there might be something else out there. Flies are a pain. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I've got black lug and squid. I've got some sand eels, and yeah, I ain't got any ears, but I've got the bait that I've just said, black lug and squid and sand eel. So that's what we're going to be targeting. The issue I've got down here, which ain't going to be an issue, is we've got quite a lot of bladderwrack down there, and right at the bottom of there will be a snagging point right at the bottom. So I'm here in plenty of time. High tide is at 11 minutes past 6 tonight, and it's now 2:30. So I shall just get myself set up, set my stall out, get a ladder over, check down there for any weights, and as soon as that tide is covering this, I'll be able to reel in out there, keeping the weight up in the water so I miss all this snag and fish. I don't know how long I'll be able to fish here. I don't know how many hours. I don't even know how high the tide comes up, but I am looking at the wall and I can see it comes up away. It's a 6.5 metre tide today, I think, or 6.6, and we'll just see how it goes. Never fished it before. It's somewhere different. I don't want you to get fed up with me fishing at Stally. I do like fishing Bay 28, but as of now, you would have seen the video uploaded of me fishing on the Yellow Cross, and then I fished back at Bay 28, and now we're at East Halton. I'm going to get a trip in to the beach. It's going to be a nighttime session. Well, not night time, because it stays light now early for quite late, doesn't it? But it's going to be an evening session, so hopefully there won't be so many people about, and we'll just mix it up a bit. I'm going to fish some other bays at Immingham at Stallingborough. I might fish down to Bay 19 and 18, and I really enjoyed fishing that yellow cross. I didn't catch anything, but I really enjoyed it. It was just like fishing at the beach. You could just cast out and reel in. It was just like being at the beach because the tide comes in quite close there. So that's enough of me waffling on. I'll get set up and we'll get organised. The bays aren't quite as large here. They're a little bit smaller, but you can still get your van in. It's a westerly wind today. Westerly? Is that westerly? That's a southerly wind. So wind's blowing from the south. I set off on my journey to come sea fishing to here, and I've got a blackboard in my garage that I've painted onto a cupboard with everything on it that I need listed to fish, to go fishing with. And I got down the road about 2.5 mile, 3 mile, and realised I hadn't brought any water, so I then had to turn around and go home. Right, we're fishing the Penn Surf Blaster today. Somehow. Yeah. Penn Surf Blaster. Surf Master. It's a Penn Surf Master 850. They're an old reel. They're a bit agricultural. You can pick these up off eBay now for 10-20 quid. I wouldn't bother, but you can do. It's not a bad reel. I'll use it. But I don't want to use my pen reels down there because I've only just turned the line round on them. So I've got a few fishing sessions, and with these rocks down below that you can get snagged up on, I didn't really want to use it and then have to respill that. So I've brought these because the line's old on it anyhow. I don't know how snaggy it is, you see. Should be alright, I think, if I sort my stall out. Should be alright. Right. That needs to go to there. And I can bait up. There's the picture. Yeah, look, we've got all fields out here, look. Industrial factory over there. And it's just fields. Hawthorns. Grass. Now this is an interesting species. This is hogweed. This will be your ordinary hogweed. Rabbits love hogweed. When I used to breed rabbits, I used to feed them hogweed. It used to be free food. Hogweed and plantain. That's all we used to go out and pick. Fill bags of it up. So look at this. This is quite interesting as well. Look. Got loads of P&O ferries down there. That must be the docks. I don't know what that grey building is down there. I don't know where Hull is. I don't know if that's Pull. There's a place called Pull. And then you got Hull. I can't see the bridge. Hull must be right round. Yeah, I can see the bridge. Well, no, it might be a chimney. I can't see the bridge. Let's be honest. And then these boats here are what you see when I'm in Bay 28 or at the Yellow Cross. And you got them ships to the left of me. That's the docking place there. And further down, I expect there's quite a few all down there. Docks. I would say that might be North Killingholme there. But don't quote me on it. Anyhow, I'm using a new camera. I bought this camera because I marked the lens on the old one, but Thomas told me that you can't see the mark and it isn't affecting the filming. So I've now got two A77 8mans cameras, and they're Tom loves them. He thinks they're brilliant. So we'll have to see what the film quality is like on this one, and then the A77, they're pretty standard, as in a bloody good camera. So yeah, I'm gonna go down there now, check around there for any weights. But like I said, there might be some muck there on the wall where someone's been fishing there. But I'll see. It's the first time I've been here. I've been driven down here 2 or 3 times, but it's possibly the first time that it is the first time that I've come to fish. So I'm all excited. That's why I'm jibber jabbering like I am, because I'm a bit excited. It's somewhere different, even though it's the same river. It's somewhere different. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Might get another fishing trip in at the weekend. Just get some banged in. Before the lockdown, I had 6 videos in the bank. So I'm hoping to do possibly the same thing, so that if anything goes wrong, I'm sorted, and then I'll just take it steady. But it's certainly good fun going fishing, and yeah, I'll see you in a bit. I'm all set up. All I'm going to do is have a cup of tea, take the bait out of the bag just to defrost it a bit, and might be fishing within the hour. Be quite good, really. Anyhow, I'll see you in a bit. Well, let me get out your sun. Right, so first cast out. I've cast out the leader rod. Just quickly show you my gear. So I'm fishing the leader rod that, if you watch my channel, you know it's the Leader Icon 120 fixed bill, and the Shakespeare Agility 15 foot. It's 4 to 8 ounce. This is a 6 ounce up to a 6 ounce rod, but I chucked 8 ounce out on that. It's perfectly alright. And I've just got them paired up with a couple of Penn Surfmaster 850s. This one's had the bail arm removed because these reels there's no lock on the bail arm, so if you cast out and you're not smooth, it can fly over and snag. So cut the bail arm off, and on this one I just added a weight, a nut and a screw the other side to balance it. So I'm fishing them 2 reels. Tide is now nearly at the bottom, but I figured I couldn't wait any longer. So I think I've got 2.5 hours before high tide, and I could have fished 3 hours before high tide, but it would have just meant just going over the side. But I haven't been there before, so I thought I'd just fish up there today. But I've cast out. If I get a bite and I've got to reel it in to avoid snagging up down there, I shall just jump over my ladder, run down with the rod, and there's a bit of flashy about with the camera here, isn't there? Run round there with the rod and just reel it in so I don't get snagged up, because I don't like losing gear. And this here seems to go, I don't know if it goes out further. It's certainly not as steep as at Immingham, or whether I aren't as high here as what you are at Immingham. There's something different here, because that certainly looks further out to me than it is at Immingham, but it's what it is, isn't it? It's great here. Absolutely gorgeous day. It's not too hot, and yesterday was the hottest day of the year, I believe. It's about 23 degrees today. That's how summer should be all the time. 23, 24 max, and then it's bearable. But yeah, absolutely beautiful day. First rod out, squid and blacklog, and looking forward to the session. Hopefully I'll be able to fish till about 7:30, 8 o'clock. We'll see how far it comes up here on a 6.5 metre tide. Well, it's either 6.5 or 6.6, but there you go. So I shan't bait. I've got this to bait up yet. This rig, which is me try not to get a flatfish deep hooked rig. But if it's a bit too long, it's just a 2-hook flapper clip down. And it'll also be interesting here to actually see how strong the tide pull is here compared to Immingham. I presume it'll be exactly the same. But yeah, what a day, eh? What a day. I work most morning. Well, I work every morning, like I've said before, at school. And when I leave off, I then do my own work, which is property maintenance. And because I work for myself, I can just decide if I want to take the day off, I can take the day off. And that's the nice thing about working for yourself. You're not going to get rich. You're not going to possibly have enough money when you get older either. But at least you're living your life, aren't you, and doing what you want to do. I'll probably regret it, but no, never mind. But no, I'm at work tomorrow. Got some jobs to do for a lady. And might go fishing on Saturday. I'll have to see what the wife think. Her indoors. So if she lets me, you know, if she lets me go fishing, I might go fishing. So yeah, might go Saturday as well. Where will I go Saturday? Might go at Yellow Cross, or I might go at Bay 19 or 18 at the Humber. Or if I catch a shed load of fish here, I might come back here. But yeah, I'm gonna be I'm just talking now. I'm getting all the waffling over with, because in a minute that rod is going to go electric and it's going to actually be on fire, and the other rod's going to be screaming to go out there. So yeah, I'm going to get a bit of chatting done now. So I'm going to pencil in a fishing trip to Sutton-on-Sea. I mentioned it in the other video, but I'm doing it again, because what else do I talk about? Can't talk about how good a fisherman I am, can I? I keep wandering about as well. What we'll do is, we'll do that, and then you'll be able to see that scenery behind me rather than look at me. So yeah, I'm going to fish Sutton-on-Sea, but I want to get a tide. I want to work the tides out so I get the tide right, which will be quite hard, because I can get the tide times for Skegness or Grimsby Dock Harbour. So I'll just have to work out, or I might do Cleethorpes actually. Then I'll just have to work it out and just estimate it and just get there in plenty of time. But yeah, I'm going to Sutton-on-Sea, south of Sutton-on-Sea. Hopefully that'll all go right and I'll get a car parking space and fish off the beach there. I've always wanted to fish there. I wanted to fish further north though, to be honest, but with this corona, you know, this disease, 19 disease, I want to go somewhere where I ain't going to have too many people on the beach around me. And I figure where I'm thinking of going should be alright. I should be quite on my own there. Other people go fishing there, so there might be other fishermen, but be able to take my trolley, get my gear on. I'll cut my gear down so I've only got what I need. And if something goes wrong, I'll have something in the van. I'll just have to walk back to the van, won't I? So, water's coming up, look. A bit of dirty scum in that water. You just don't think what it is, do you? I think when it came in, you can see how muddy the water is. It was muddier than that. That's a bit... It was like neat mud coming onto the shore. And I presume that's what all that scum is on top of there, but... I think it is. I'll tell you what it'll be. It'll be the mud that's soluble in the water, so you can't see in the water. And as soon as it hits that bladder rack, it'll act as a filter, and it'll filter some of that mud out, and that's what's left on that seaweed. So that's just the seaweed acting as a filter, I would assume. And you're getting some of that silt gather up on top of the water. Yeah, I'm looking forward to fishing now. I've always wanted to do it, like I've said, and I'm actually doing it. You know, you get into the frame of mind where you think, oh, I'm going to go to Immingham, I'm going to go to the river, and you can zoom off straight to Immingham, to the bays, you know, bay 28 down to 18 or 17, or Yellow Cross, or what, Fish the Woods. Yeah, and you just get in that mindset of always doing that. And sometimes you just got to take the chance of fishing somewhere else in the hope that you might catch something. But if you don't catch, you don't catch, do you? It's a fishing trip, as I've always said before. It's my fishing trip, and it's not only about the fishing, is it? It's about the scenery. I mean, I've got a fantastic view over there, as you can see. So that's what we're doing. So I'll switch the camera on in a bit when I cast out the second rod, or if I reel that one in with a big fish on it. See you in a bit. I'm going to reel in. This rod is bouncing about a bit. That's reeling very good, is it? So we'll see if it... Well, there we go again. That was bouncing a little as though I'd got a bite. And let's hope that's the only thing that goes wrong today. So my line has just snapped. Still, it's early in the fishing session. I've lost my line. Lost my rig, lost my weight. There could have been a fish on it, but we'll not think about that. Let's just hope it was a bit of seaweed, but we'll find out. After I've casted this out, I shall reel the other line in and see what the bait's like. See if there's many crabs, and see if there's any weed out there as well. Come on. You're right, mate. How far can you get down that way, mate?
There?
Yeah, can you get...
Where the ships are.
What, you can drive all that way?
No. not really. Well, you used to be able to. You could
I'm
drive
just wondering
right.
how far I can go down there to fish at all.
See that chimney?
Yeah.
There's another bay, 2 bays past that chimney.
Oh, right.
And then you get this. They put some bollards in the road.
And that's why they've done the same down at Stally as well.
Because they keep pinching cars off of there. So
Right.
they put some bollards
And
in
the
there.
bay.
You could drive all the way down, but
Yeah.
you can't.
I bet you used to be able to drive all the way to Immingham, couldn't you?
No, because you have to go through the docks.
Right. Okay. So those bays down there in the chimney, are they big enough to turn your van round?
Same as this.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
right.
that one that's by the chimney there, there's one just a little, just by the chimney basically, and then there's another one further past,
Right.
which is down by the fence where you can see the bushes,
Yeah.
just down by that fence there.
I'll go down and have a look when it's.
That one's a double one, and then there's a single one like this
All right. Okay.
further past. Yeah.
Right. Thanks a lot, mate. I'll be able to have a look.
No worries. Yeah, don't go right down the fence because you have to reverse your van all the way back up.
Right. Okay.
Alright, mate.
Cheers.
See you in a bit.
There you go then. Right, let's see what's on this one. I don't even know what this line's like on air because this line on air is what come with a reel. You've got to pump and wind because if you wind with these reels, that's it, it's out now. If you wind out the mud with these reels, they go like that, rock side to side. Right, no bait on that. So it might be crabs out there. But there's no snags either. Mine's tangled up a little. Tiny little bit of weed, but nothing. I've still got bait on the bottom hook. Bit of lug. That lug on there. I might actually, on this rig, just put squid on it next time. I shall carry on doing what I'm doing because I ain't got no stop knots on it. No stop knots or nothing, so the lug's probably getting banged off. Bit of rot on this. See, the only thing is with two flapper, it can knock the bait off, especially when you haven't put a especially when you haven't put a stop nut on it, the seat one. So I think I'll pick another rig. Yeah, I'll pick another rig with some which is a bit better. I'm also, these lines are moving round. I'm literally casting out over there, and I'm round to here now. But it's the same normal. It's the same thing at the river, or any river really, I suppose, with a pull on it. Right, put that behind us. Yep. That's another reel I'm going to have to put some new line on. You can't trust that now if it's snapped off, clean snapped off straight across. There must have been a nick in it or something. I've used them reels a few times during the winter down at Stally at Immingham, and I guess it got damaged, and I just wash them under the tap and put them away. The first you know about them going wrong is like then, reeling in and it snaps. I should probably take off so much line, probably take off 200 yards, something like that, and then just tie on a new piece of line and re-spool it. There's no point in taking 500 yards of line off to put 500 yards of new stuff on, because you just ain't going to use it, are you? And then I can take it down, when I want to change it, I can take it down to the knot, cut it, return the line round, re-tie it on and re-spool it back on, and it's the same thing as re-spooling, turning your line round on a full spool, isn't it? It's all about saving money, that's what it is. I've just bought 2 spools of line. I think they cost me £4 odd. It's just clear line, just for 2 reels that I've got that I'm gonna hopefully go sole fishing this year. Try and catch a sole, and you ain't gonna need fantastic line for that, are you? So I just bought some line. I think it's Asso line. It's original Asso line. It's donkey's years old. Brand, it ain't nothing in this fancy stuff, I presume. So I just bought that just to re-spool them, so I should be able to get that out of it as well. So that's what I'm doing. Anyhow, should be back in a bit. Right, just had some chap come down here talking to me. Didn't air him. You know what it's like when you get spooked and you think, Jesus Christ, where you come from? What happened the other day at Immingham, and it's just happened there now. How I cannot see someone walking down there, all the way down that road, and he comes walking down and he's got a mask on. He's on top of me. He's like, well, probably about 1.5 meters the closest he got, but that's too close. Out here it should be about 3 meters, but he's a nice bloke. He come down there, asked loads of questions about fishing. Said to him, get a cheap rod off eBay and reel, and then just stick some line on it and go fishing. Give it a go. Seemed interested, so anyhow, we're now pulling this rod in. There's a lot of May rot about. I think it's called May rot, and it goes on your line, and it sort of like locks in all around your line like that. So whatever way you pull it, it don't come off. So you have to keep going, flicking backwards and forwards, trying to get it off. It is quicker to cut your main line where your leader knot is and slide it all off, but even that, sometimes when you're sliding it down your line, it binds up on your line. But that's the quickest way. Cut it and retie it. But my tapered lead is getting a bit fat now, and it makes it hard work to retie. So I've cast one out about 40 yards, and that one literally is just on the mud. I hope. If I ain't, I'm behind the rocks and I might get snagged. But one out a bit long, one short. See what we get. Well, that was a bite, I think. So I'm going to let that develop and see what happened. Keep my eye on it. Thing with these flounders is I've watched them on YouTube. They pick it up and then drop it, and pick it up and drop it, and play with it a bit, and keep flicking it about, and then they'll go for it. So you just got to leave it. That was a little knock there. First time I've seen my rod knock for a long time. Yeah, I'll be back in a bit. Let's hope something happens from that. Right, I'm going to reel this rod in because it's moving up and down. I don't know if it's a wind or a bite. We'll see. Nothing. Nothing at all. So that weren't a bite. So it's a beautiful, calm day. It is a nice day, but not a lot happening on the rods at the minute. What can I say? We caught 2 flounders in the last one. I know you didn't see the second one, but I was sure you it was there. I saw its white belly. It was probably the same size as the first one. and I did run after it to try and get it. I did put the effort in, didn't I? So I put plenty of effort in to show you it. So caught fish in the last one. There's still time to catch fish now. We are at... Christ, time to go quick, doesn't it? It's 5:45. We've got 26 minutes before high tide. Bugger. It's like a mill pond right there. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fish here on a low tide, put it that way. When I leave here, I'm going to drive down there near where that chimney is and have a look at the bays down there. That chap down there, he hasn't caught anything either. So he ain't caught anything. And the chap that come up there and spooked me and really put the wind up me, and had many people around me just lately, and when you get someone around you, you're like, whoa, stay back, stay back. But he told me that he ain't caught anything either. So we're all in the same boat on the shore. We've got time yet. We're gonna get one. Ooh, ooh! That's got to have been a bite. That was a. I've got something playing around with these rods, because that other rod, my blue rod, Shakespeare, that bounced. Mind you, could just be a piece of weed going past, couldn't it? I guess, could be. Time will tell. I've got a bite! I've got a bite on there! Let it develop, let it develop. There's a fish on. There's a fish on. There's not a fish on. Jesus Christ. Well, that was a bite. Yeah, that's the first bite that I've seen for a long time. Well, I'm sorry about getting excited there. Probably a little bit too excited, but then, as I keep saying to you, I don't really see a bite very often because they're always small fish. And that rod was tapping then. Now, I've got no bait on here. And on this one, I've still got bait. Bugger. I thought that was a bite. That rod was bouncing up and down. I don't know if you'll pick it up in the camera. I don't know. But that was what I would call a bite. That was like bang bang like that, and then it did it. I even let it. Well, do I have to leave it longer than that? That must have done five or six bounces. Nothing. So let's get that baited up and chuck back out again. flapper. Oh dear, that was a definite bite. That's what I would used to see as a bite, or I've always seen as a bite. That's what I always go on about. Perhaps the weight was just rolling along, but I don't think it was. Perhaps they know what a hook is and they just nibble around it. Could be crabs, I suppose, I don't know. Sorry for getting a bit excited earlier, but I ain't seen a bite for a while and got a bit excited. But that, look, yeah. What's there you go? That was a bite. Or someone's picking at it. That was more like one pick, wasn't it? That weren't like a bite and try and swim away. Perhaps there's just crabs out there. Perhaps this is a good place to come when the crabs are molting. There you go. Now that's exactly what it was doing before. There, that's a bite, isn't it? It can't be anything else. There's nothing out there. Unless there's a frogman down there giving it a tug, laughing his head off. There. Now that surely's a bite, isn't it? You must have saw that then. That's on both rods. Right, I'm going to let that develop. That's a clear bite, that is. Now I've seen flatfish in Norfolk, where some chap has dropped the camera down and shown you what flatfish do. So I'm going to leave that and I'll be back in a bit. Right, that rod has been bouncing up and down quite a bit. I think it must be crabs because it's just going like that. They're like plucking it off the hook, aren't they, the food? If it was a fish it'd be going like that, wouldn't it? So, but I did have a few of them where they went like that, but perhaps it's just crabs. It's been dead quiet, this water, but now it's got noisy, and I would say 11 minutes past 6 it said high tide. It's now 21 minutes past 6, so it must have got to its level and now it's going out, look. So high tide was at 11 minutes past, but it's now 21 minutes past and this has happened again. And I think this is the water turning direction. There's a swell on it now, you see, whereas before there wasn't. So I think as soon as this happens, you know it's then going out. So if we're going to catch, we might catch one now. Normally catch them as the tide goes down. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. So yeah, that's better. Yeah. Sun, if you get the sun in the camera, it makes it go all rainbowy. I really got excited with that bite. Perhaps it's got to be like that, but quick, like instead of. I ain't chucking it out far. Literally, you got probably 5 yards from the bottom of the cedar fence, and then it's just mud. Now, why wait for high tide where you got all that land, all that mud, which is to the air? The fish must come up on there and around these rocks at the bottom there to hunt for food, because they can hunt for food out there all day, can't they? And anyhow, if I chuck it out a long way, I get all that may rot on it. But I might try one more cast out long when I reel the Shakespeare in to see if the may rot has cleared off with the tide going out. Now you tell me if that's a bite. I bet if I reel that in, there'll be nothing on it. That can't be a crab, because that's bouncing. That bounced 2 or 3 times. I think someone's playing around with me, to be honest. I do. I think Poseidon's out there, keep twanging it with his finger. He just comes out of the mud under the water and stretches out and goes donk, 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 donk. And then slides off again. It's like playing knick-knock, isn't it, when you're a kid on people's doors. But there. Still absolutely lovely. I shall be coming back here again at East Halton, because look at it. The P&O ferries, they haven't moved. I'm sure that's Paul over there. I shall have a look on Google Maps when I get home. And then the river kinks round there, so it goes up there and then it kinks round, and then you've got Killingham, which I presume is yeah, you've got Killingham, and over there you won't see it probably, but literally where my finger is there is the Humber Bridge. So the river goes up there and then it goes that way over there. And then you go, so Hull's over there, so I'm sure that's Paul, if I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know. But yeah, look at it. It's lovely, isn't it? So you can see the water has changed direction now. It's going out. That first wave you must have seen must have been the start of it. Look at this now, it's rolling in now. I know you can't see it rolling in, but you can see it's undulating. So you've got all this mass of water coming through here. It's thinner here. It's thinner here than it is out there. So got a bit of wash down there now. Anyhow, these rods aren't bouncing around enough. But we've got movement on the rods, so whether it's a crab, it must be a big crab. If it's a fish, it's a plucky little bugger, because he knows what he's doing. He's picking that bait off, isn't he? So look at that down there now. It's quite I wonder if it's quite rough here. If this water was slight or moderate, I wonder what the oh dear, he's going. I wonder if it crashes about here a bit. Let's hope they don't know that bloody May rock come. Anyhow, these rods, they're letting me down. Let's reel this black one in. I don't believe it.
He's talking to me on the phone last night.
Wow. There's no hook on the bottom. Now I didn't feel that snagged up. I.e., I didn't feel it snag up and snap the hook off. The line has been snapped. I don't know if a crab can cut through a snood, can it? You have to let me know. Right, we've gone out a bit further then. Don't know what happened there. I pulled that rod in, as I've said. I was shouting over there, so I don't know if you've heard me, so I'm going to repeat myself. I reeled it in. It wasn't even tight in the seabed, and I reeled it in. Give it one pull back to get it off the floor. Reeled it in. There was no snag or none of this to free it off. Reeled it in, and the bottom snood was half the length of it, what it was to start with no hook on it. So something's cut it, and it was a straight cut. There's no chamfer or anything or whatever. It's just cut. So there's either a frogman down there or Poseidon, yeah, with a pair of scissors cutting my snood, or a crab's cut it. Can that happen? Can a crab cut a snood line? Something was pulling on that rod, because it's been going like that all the time. It's been good though, hasn't it? Because I haven't had that before. I haven't had a rod bouncing up and down with a potential fish on it, which probably turned out to be a crab, stripping my bait off my hook. Wish I'd hooked it. It must have been a big one. Blue rod is inactive. I'm going to reel that in a minute and chuck that out again. I'm going to cast it up. But the weight, when the weight hit the seabed, because it's just, well, it's mud down there, but my lines here aren't swinging from left to right hugely like they do down in Bay 28. it's a lot more calmer fishing here with your lines. You aren't watching your lines swinging around. Perhaps it's the tide today. It's a 6.65 metre tide today. And the app that I've got on my phone, which is called The Wife, she just sends me by WhatsApp all the tides for the week. And it's a little bit more accurate than the BBC one. Right, let's get this blue one reeled in. I ain't even baited up another rig ever. Baits haven't even been touched on that. We'll send this out a bit further, this one, and see if that may rot's there. That's a poor cast. I think I'm getting so used to just flopping it out a couple of metres, or 20 yards, 40 yards, that it's not going right. But that one, tide's going out now, so all my lines should be zooming down there, but they aren't. This line that I've put down here, yeah, it's still going exactly where I casted it. It's not zooming down to Grimsby. And I can only think, and I might be wrong, possibly am, but is it because of all this down there, this pair going out there where they're loading all the ships? Does that have an effect on the tide? Don't know. Put a comment in. Let me know. Sit rep. And that is, I haven't had any more knocks on the line. So if it was crabs out there, they've disappeared since the tide has changed. So the tide's now going out. But there's loads of weed going down the river now. Looks like bladderwrack, so I'm now going to reel the black rod in. There's no weed on the line. There's no fish on it either. Well, we'll send this out short again. Well, that's a little bit longer than I anticipated. That's swung round a lot.
Tide must be pulling.
That's really swung round a lot. I think what we'll do is we shall leave that to settle for a bit. I thought I'd do the same thing as I did last week in the last video, where I reeled me other line in. That's it, baited up, look. It's the dog then, can't see it. That's the weight. And then the two snoods are like that, so it lays on the beach like that. Beach, on the sea, on the riverbed. But there's me black lug and squid, tippler squid. Plenty of hook point showing. As you can see there, there's plenty of hook point showing, so my lug's up. And then I just hook the squid through twice so it hangs loose. Because if I was to hook that over again, there'd be a huge great big bobble in the middle there and it would mask the hook point. So I don't do that. So that's the bait. And it's been like that all the time. Right, pull this blue rod in. Because it's now the right. I ain't going to pull my other line in now. There's a little bit of Mayra on there. I'll just stay on there, I can't be arsed, ain't got time to mess about. Look at them baits, they haven't even been touched. Do you know what I'm going to do? Look at that. Baits haven't even been touched. There's about 3 or 4 skylarks up there now. Tom, if you can pick up them skylarks that are twittering in the sky. There they are, there's one. Absolutely fantastic. Last time I heard some skylarks was when I used to play golf a lot. It's absolutely beautiful here. The sun has now got to the point where it's in the sky lighting everything up, as it does, because that's what suns do. And there's a slight breeze now, which is quite cooling. And it's refreshing. Not cooling, it's refreshing. Just had to put this old, my bestest t-shirt on back on. Them fishing lines are winding in the wind, but I hope you can hear them skylarks. It is nice there. You've got all this couple of crows down there. How do you tell the difference between crows and rooks? Well, apart from size, crows are always in twos, and rooks are always, there's loads of them. Called a rookery. That's what they're called, rooks. There's always lots of them. That's what I was always told as a boy. And if it's tiny, it's a blackbird. So yeah, we've got 2 crows down there. They've been there all day. They must live in these trees or something, or there'll be a big tree around here somewhere. But they've been gathering up food, going along, getting the bugs. There's loads of little tiny bugs that crawl around the floor here and on the cedar fence, so I expect they hunt around for them and eat them. So I've had them for company today. I haven't had no fish for company. Can't catch all the while. I did catch the last one. You got to give me that one. But I don't know how to explain how nice. Obviously, if it was holding it down with rain, snow or sleet, it might be a little bit different. It might be a bit harsh. But weather conditions are perfect. Sea state is nice. Everything's gone all right, apart from the one snap off that I had when I was reeling in. But that was the line. You could see the little nick in the line where it snapped off, so that's my own fault. So what I'll do is I will switch this camera back on and show you some more, especially if I catch a fish. The water has dropped now. You can you see the dark bit, can't you? Well, the dark bit, what's that? It must have dropped half a metre already. Might have even dropped 3/4 of a metre. I'll go for 3/4 of a metre. I've got a way to go yet. I've probably got might have another hour's fishing if I want to risk it. But as soon as I start seeing the bottom of the thing, I don't mind getting snagged up at the bottom here, because I can jump over the wall and retrieve my weight, can't I? But once it gets below that at the bottom there, and you start seeing the weed and the rocks in the mud, then I shall be reeling in for the last time. And whoever was there fishing last time, who left his rubbish here, he was fishing Sam's Quality Blast Frozen Unwashed Squid, Loligo Patagonian, for those that like speaking in Latin. Yeah, or Italian, I don't know. And he was also fishing razor fish, because there's a razor clams, because there's a razor clam down there. So I wonder what luck he had on squid and razor clams. I've got some razor clams in my bait bag. I saw that razor clam as well when I first got here. Perhaps I should have fished razor clam. Who knows? I'll bring them razor clams next time. It'll only be about the 6th time it's been unfrozen. I'll bring them and I shall fish them with some lug or something. Who knows? But there's one thing for certain, I am coming back here because it's bloody lovely. I quite like the factory behind you at Immingham, because I don't know if you've noticed on some of my in the videos, those skies in the video, none of them are enhanced or anything. They are what they are. And the skies over that factory when I finally caught me cod on me In Search of Cod, the skies in that, as was going from day to night, were absolutely beautiful. So you get some fantastic views at Immingham, even though it's an industrial area. But here is totally different. Here, well, you won't pick it out, but there's a farmhouse over there. It's a farmhouse with outbuildings right in the distance. There's another farmhouse there, but that's more modern. That one is old. But you know, there's cows over there. They've obviously ditched these here because this gets waterlogged because there's all marsh reeds down there. So obviously this gets wet. So they've dug trenches in there to keep that dry. They must grow something on it. Perhaps they just grow that for hay. Perhaps that's being grown for grass hay, and then as soon as it's grown up, or wild fodder, they then cut it down for their animal feed. Who knows? I'm not a farmer, but they certainly dug the trenches for something to dry it out, haven't they? But yeah, look, it's. Oh, I'm not going to keep going on about it. Look, it's the Humber Bridge over there. I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. I mean, those two twatting cyclists that I was and believe you me, I've got nothing wrong with cyclists. It's just that they think they bloody rule the bloody road, don't they? And since everybody in London keep on saying that, you know, they've got to have this much room and that and this, that and the other and that, they're like the power kings, aren't they? They're like the receptionists at the doctor's surgery, aren't they? Anyway, no, that's enough. Anyhow, saw the cyclist, thought bless him in his lycra. Doesn't he look snazzy? I'll pull over, so I give him plenty of room. And I was straddled over the white line in the road. Nothing coming. So I thought I'll give him plenty of room. White line in the road. So my van was literally driving over the white line. And when I eventually looked back in the mirror, the idiot had his arm up in the air. I think he was just trying to fly. Ooh, ooh, look! I think he was just trying to fly and pick up some more speed, perhaps. Perhaps he didn't have enough cogs on his back wheel. Oh, that ain't in the snag, is it? That just went bonk. I shall watch that because that should go if there's something on it. That's either snagged up or there's a huge lump of weed on it, but I think the weed's gone through now. There's a huge lump of weed on it, or you never know, there might be a fish on it. Anyhow, yeah, where did I get to? Yeah, he's flapping his arms to get far. Yeah, that's alright, because perhaps he didn't have enough cogs on his rear wheel. And then when I was coming down here, down one of the roads to get to here, I'm driving down, slowing down, and there's a cyclist shaking his head at me because there's two cyclists coming the other way. And I'm thinking, well, is he? Because it's only a single track road. And I'm thinking, am I now going to get a load of jip again? Anyhow, as I got nearer to him, he put his hand up. I think he thought twice off it, I don't know. But, I mean, I pulled over to the side as much as I could. I weren't driving on the grass in case there's a hole in it. And I damaged my van. But there, that ain't much to moan at in life, is it? Cyclists or dogs that get pee up your tackle box or pee up your beach shelter or piss all over your flask. I mean, that ain't much. That's not nothing to moan at either, is it? It's just an inconvenience. I think I'm going to have to reel that rod in. Weed. That's fell off. There's nothing on it. I don't believe it. There's nothing on it. Fixed spool there is the ideal reel because it picks it up off air and launches it across the top of the water here, because it's, even though when the tide come in you're fishing into deep water, it's quite shallow here, to be honest. So it don't take a lot of winding, and your weight is already up. Whereas at Immingham, you're fishing into deeper water at high tide. But then I slowed down reeling it in as it got into the thing and got it snagged up at the bottom. So getting a bit too cocky. That went further. Well, that went further, that cast, that twanged my finger. So I must have put a bit more effort into it. I've got one out there, one out there. Can you hear that whining on there? Where's the microphone? Can you hear that? Tom, let me know if you can hear that fishing line going woo. Right, so look at this now. We've probably now dropped. It always goes down here at the side sooner than at the front, because obviously you're sticking out at the front, aren't you? But that's gone down a metre there now. And the weed is now starting to show, look. So that was clear a minute ago. That's the bladderwrack. When you see Fish Locker, who talks about it quite a bit, he say that the bladderwrack's got them pods in it, doesn't it, that floats in the water so it stands up and gets the light. Well, that's what he's talking about. That's the bladderwrack floating up that's attached to the bottom. Jimmy Willis has put up a couple of videos just lately. He does a lot of fishing for their local fishing league club. You know, they have all competitions. Well, he's actually doing a bit more fishing now, which is just fishing like this, which is just fun fishing, you know. And been really enjoyable, because I really like watching Jimmy. He's a DJ, or he was a DJ, but he can talk really well in the camera, whereas I just waffle on a load of crap. But he talks really well because he knows what he's doing. But he does a good video. Obviously, don't stop watching my video, but go along to Jimmy Willis and go subscribe to him, because he's still only on 680 something, and he shouldn't be there, because he's a good narrator, and he catches fish as well. But I think they all catch fish down south. Well, I think everybody catches fish around the country apart from me, and I don't think these two have caught anything either. If they stop when they drive past, or one of them does, I'll ask him. But yeah, anyhow, battery's nearly gone, so I'll be back in a bit. I'm on the top of the water. Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Well, might have one more cast over that rod. I'm only putting squid on now. Get out. Catch out.
Litland.
Litland.
Yeah.
What, flounder?
Yeah.
I've had some bites, but I can't believe I didn't pick up on them, to be honest. They were good bites,
Yeah.
but nothing unless there's crabs there, is there?
There is on crab, yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
Is that where you always fish up there?
No, I think
Is it good fishing? This first time I fished there, is it normally good there?
no.
No?
Steinford's a place.
Well, yeah, I was there the other day, but I just thought I'd try East Halton.
Yeah. Little flounders. That's all there is at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah.
But that's not fishing good for them either.
Hey,
That's not fishing good for them there either.
not like it used to, no.
Right.
There's no depth of water here now.
No,
like
no.
there used to be.
I noticed that when you cast out. When you reel back in, you can tell it's not that deep.
No.
Soon get your weight on top of the water.
All the ships used to be used here. Now they all use young side.
Right.
There's nothing here. It's all silt here. That's why you've got to I always cut my wires down here
Yeah.
because you're not sinking so much in.
Right.
So
You cast out far? Do you need to cast out far or not? No.
yeah. You can cast beyond them.
Yeah. I've chucked out from 10 yards out as far as I can chuck it. So and I've had some bites where it's gone like this on the rod.
And then they're gone.
And I've reeled it in, nothing
They're
on
gone.
it. Yeah.
You've got to leave it.
Yeah, well, I've done all of that. I was jumping up and down, getting right excited, thinking, there we go. Reel it in, nothing. I even had one of my snoods cut.
Hey,
I even had one of my snoods were cut, sort of like halfway up. It was as though someone had chopped through it. And it reeled in. When I retrieved it, it just came in lovely. There was no snag.
I put the weed. It's underneath weed here.
Is there?
Runs, yeah. If you're getting that run where the weed is, bloody terrible. It drags you down.
I've had that snotty weed on, that May rock.
It takes some fucking, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I just cut it now and just retie
A lot
it.
of people do, but I don't know. I've put it on. I'm just going to see how my mate's getting on. Trying to clear.
Well, some chap walked down and he said he ain't caught nothing when,
John.
yeah, that was probably just before I tied, he ain't caught nothing, I think.
Oh.
Some chap come walking down there and said to me whether he,
Oh, Bob, that was Bob Taylor, locally, yeah.
what with the mask on. Some
No, Bob.
some bloke come walking down. He was just
Bob
down.
had 3 dogs with him.
Oh yeah. No, he didn't say. He told me you ain't caught anything at that point.
I hadn't.
Oh,
no,
hadn't you?
no. I had a couple of nut bites and that was it. But my worm was terrible. There was, I couldn't thread them on the hook. There was that hard.
Oh yeah, I've had them.
This is the first time I've been out since January.
Is it?
So I've done them a good soaking. And After that, I got 6 that straight in a row up there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that the best place up there then?
No.
No?
That upload's been up there for a couple
I
of
quite
hours.
like this bay because there
Yeah.
isn't much rock there, you see.
This is the deepest point, 61.
Is it?
Yeah, deepest point. A lot goes for 61.
Really?
Yeah.
I've got to get here early then, have you?
I wouldn't. I time it with the tide.
Yeah.
I live local, so. But, yeah, I know.
I think I'll go back to the Yellow Cross at Stally.
You can lose gear there, can't you?
Yeah, you can. He was a character. He's a local chap. I said, you catch much air, and he just started laughing. Certainly don't catch smooth hound in here. You won't see any of them, he says. So I doubt if you'll even get a dogfish in there. Perhaps, hey, there's one, fish hunter, if you watch these videos, if you ever do. I know you don't like catching dogfish. Get yourself up there and fish the Humber. You'll be dogfish free. And it'll challenge your ear, catching fish. Of course, that'd be a video I'd watch, just to see you blank. Bless you. I don't know how long I can fish here. I don't want to get snagged up and lose my start gear. So I just put a downer on it. I've got lots of ground here. Let me pick this out. I've got lots of ground down here, which is uncovered by water. But I'm deep here, and I'm deep over here, and my lines start off over in this direction and then end up over here. So I'm good at the minute. I think it's coming down near the bottom. I mean, most people would carry on fishing, but I just don't. See, now I've got the bottom part here, which then means you've got all them rocks out there. But obviously this was the worst bay to fish, and I like to pick the worst bay to fish for snags and stuff, so that if anybody else wants to come here, then obviously you know not to come to this bay. So yeah, that's why I do it. I'd like to fish for you. That's what I'm doing, fishing for you. If you decide you want to come to East Halton, you'll know not to come to this bay. Go on to a bay up there or down there, just in case I'm here. Yeah, and then I can get this bay. Yeah, no, I'm going to be... That rod ain't going to be out for long. And another thing I could do, I could every time I want to pull in, I could jump over my side down here and reel in from down the bottom. It ain't going to be an issue. And then my rod's going to be sticking out past all this, and I can then lift it up to avoid the snags. So I could do that. Might leave it out for another 5 minutes before I reel in my leader rod, my 12-foot rod, and then yeah, there's not a lot happening there, is there? So anyhow, matey boy there, I was told hadn't caught anything. And then all of a sudden, obviously it would have been after high tide, during high tide up to coming down, he's pulled out 6 flounder. So he's had a good session. I've just paid some extra taxes and to the government in diesel and lugworm and squid from the bait shop. Right, now then, this is exciting. Watch this, look. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a P&O ferry now leaving. It's obviously leaving the river with the tide flowing out. That'll make it easier for it. There's that bottom thing now I'm going to reel in. Where's that rod though? That's out over there, and that one's out over there. Oh, there it comes. It's that weed out there. Well, that's got that out. Bit of squid on the bottom. Another bit of squid for the crow. That must be one of the ferries that take people across as well. I wonder how many people they've got on there. Well, I'm going to turn it off now. I'm going to drink my hot chocolate, listen to the radio and reel that in very shortly, and I'll see you in a bit. Right, well, let's get this last one reeled in. I could leave it another 10 minutes, but no. There you go. Still got bait on it. Well, more bait for the crows. As soon as I go, them crows will move in here. East Halton, beautiful place to fish. Lovely scenery behind me and lovely scenery behind me. You know, it's been a beautiful day. It's been lovely weather. It's been all sorts of wildlife about. You know, there's been everything you needed for a nice fishing trip, apart from the bloomin' obvious, and that is a fish. Now, obviously I'd like to have caught a fish, but I didn't catch a fish today. So I'll apologise now. Sorry people out there. No fish today. But I would like to wrap this video up now, and I'm going to stop pacing about, and I'd just like to say, as I always do say, thank you to all my subscribers, and potentially subscribers that are watching this that might think, oh no, do you know what, I'm going to click the button and help him out and subscribe. So please subscribe, ring the bell for all notifications, please share these videos because more people get to see it and they might subscribe. Thank you for all your comments. I do read all the comments. I answer all the comments. I might give it a thumbs up first and then answer it when I can. So, but there might be a delay there. But I always answer all the comments. And gives a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I really ain't bothered. But whatever you do, ringing the bell, thumbs up, comments, it all helps the channel. And the channel's grown very nicely. I haven't checked what the subscribers are at the minute. I don't think they've gone up much since the last video's been out, but it is as it is, isn't it? YouTube's a funny thing. You can never work YouTube out. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. Sorry for waffling on, and please subscribe, and thank you to all of you out there that have subscribed to me. It's unbelievable. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. And in the next one we will catch a fish. I don't know what fish, I just hope we catch a fish. Alright, so see you later, and thanks for watching.